Welcome to the 8th Annual Video Club Awards of Laguna Woods.
Tracey, thanks for having us here tonight, and we look forward to looking at least 10 videos. And at the end of the night, we're going to interview the top 2 winners. Should be fun.
So let's begin with a video by Deborah Waller, An Amazing Story.
I want to tell you an amazing story. It begins on June 11, 1962, and it ends on June 11, 2005. It's exactly 43 years in the making of this story. It starts out in Gainesville, Florida. That's in north central Florida. And that's where I was in 1962. I was a senior at the University of Florida, getting my degree in education. In the meantime, Gary Waller was also in Gainesville at that time. He was the pastor of the First Presbyterian Church of Gainesville. We didn't know each other, our paths never crossed. And so in 1962, I graduated from the university, and many years went by. I went to Atlanta to teach for a few years, and then ultimately went to Orlando, Florida, again teaching for several years. I also went to Australia, where I lived for a number of years, and then ultimately to beautiful Southern California. Now, in the meantime, Gary Waller was involved with a mission group there on the Mexico-Arizona border. He then went to North Carolina to a church where he served in that area, and then ultimately to South Carolina, where he was a pastor. Eventually, Gary ended up back at the First Presbyterian Church of Gainesville. Well, I happen to have a daughter who lives in Ocala, Florida, which is very close to Gainesville, and I decided to go visit with her for a couple of weeks. Well, while I was there, her in-laws were hosting a dinner party at the Golden Ocala Country Club. It was a fundraiser for the Arthritis Foundation, and they were inviting various people that they knew. They had a big room to fill, a lot of tables with 8 chairs at each table, and it turns out that one of them was missing a person to sit there. So they decided to call their friend Gary Waller, whom they had known for a number of years, to see if he would come.
I was a little reluctant to accept that invitation because I thought I was being set up. I didn't want to do that. But I accepted, and when I got there and saw her, I said to myself, boy, I'm really glad I came.
And so we developed our friendship, having fun together, getting to know one another, going sailing and to the ocean and just having fun. And that, of course, developed into a love relationship ultimately, and you can imagine what's coming next. Yes, exactly on June 11, remember that date, June 11, this was 2005, we married in South Carolina. What a beautiful day that was. Well, while I was looking through my scrapbook many years later after we were married, I came across my old University of Florida commencement program. I turned open to the first page, and what did I see? J. Gary Waller had given the invocation that day, and he also gave the benediction. We were in the same building at the same time in 1962, and exactly the same day, 43 years later, we were married. Well, it's a pretty amazing story, don't you think? That June 11, we were in the same building in 1962 and married on that exact same day, 43 years later. Do you suppose it was a coincidence, or do you think it was God's plan for Gary and me all along? Well, I don't know the answer exactly, but I do know one thing for sure, and that is I am very, very grateful for the outcome.
That was a wonderful story of love, Bill.
And do you believe that Deborah's a brand new member of the video club, and that was her first video?
Wow.
Imagine the hours it took her to do that. Coming up next is a wonderful story about glass from our own Jim Cutter.
To celebrate my recent birthday, we spent a few days on Catalina Island. As luck had it, the new museum in Avalon had a wonderful Chihuly exhibit. Dale Chihuly is America's foremost artist utilizing glass as a medium. This was the first major exhibition presented by this museum since opening its doors in the summer of 2016. Chihuly continues to push the boundaries of the medium of glass. Born in Tacoma, Washington in 1941, trained as an architect, but always interested in utilizing glass as art objects. He went to Venice and studied glass blowing in the famous ateliers of this city. He also visited glass-blowing studios in Ireland, Mexico, and Finland. Today, his works can be found all over the world. Many of you probably have seen the ceiling decoration in the lobby of the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas. Today, he has a very big studio in Tacoma and employs a great number of assistants, which are needed to complete many of the very large and unusual objects. Enjoy Dale Chihuly's works. These pictures were taken with a Sony Cybershot camera, and this presentation was edited using Corel Video Studio X7.
I love Dale Chihuly's glass. The designs are so intricate and amazing.
Wolfgang's got a pretty good eye, too. I mean, he really captured the color of that glass, and I love the way that sometimes the sketches morphed into the glass. That was really cool stuff. I enjoyed that a lot.
Wow. So, Bill,
Yes.
I understand you've got a video that's been in this awards top 10.
Yep.
So, let's watch Everyone Loves a Piano Player.
This little video is dedicated to my dad and piano players everywhere. And if you haven't guessed yet, my dad played the piano. He played well into his 90s. Besides teaching me about the important things in life, he taught me that everyone loves a piano player. And you know, he was right. You want proof? Just take a look at these people. They're coming from a piano concert, all of them. Just look at their faces. They're all happy.
I don't play the piano myself because I couldn't make my fingers stretch far enough on the keyboard, so I elected to play drums instead. Pianos come in all shapes and sizes, and my dad played them all. And here's a fun fact about pianos and dogs that my dad taught me. And again, he was right. He taught me that all dogs love to listen to the piano. Just look at this happy face. This dog is listening to Chopin. And this pup here is grooving on some jazz. And for this video, I was able to interview a dog. Her name is Chelsea. Chelsea, what is it about the piano and dogs? She says it gives her peace of mind from all her stresses about when the next meal is and the perfect spot to pee. Interesting. Finally, I remember asking my dad who he thought were the greatest piano players of all time. He picked out two. This guy here, he was blind, and as you can hear, he surely could cut a mean tune. His name was Art Tatum. And this guy here, my dad said his playing would calm him after a bad golf game. His name was Vladimir Horowitz. So the next time you hear a piano player, put on a smile, relax, and just take a second to listen. All will be right with the world, and your smile will last almost forever. Thanks, Dad.
What a nice tribute to your dad, Bill.
Thank you.
Was your childhood filled with music?
Yeah, it was. My mom was a singer, Dad was a piano player, and they taught me a lot about music. And my dad played right up until his 90s. As a drummer, I hope I can do the same thing. But he taught me a lot about music, and I still carry it today. So that was fun to put that together. Coming up next, Simply Montana with Starkey.
I decided to spend this last Christmas with dear friends in Montana.
Dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and your Christmases be
I love the deer. I wonder what she fed it to make it come so close to her.
I think they were just trying to keep warm. I love the video. I hate the cold and the snow, but the video is great.
Oh, me too. Coming up next is a video by Stephen Carman, Kissing in Church.
It's the classic head block maneuver. I've been studying this for years. Started at a very early age. Some people call it an obsession. Call it what you will. Early on, I understood two opposing facts. Fact number one, you can't kiss in church. Fact number two, people get married in churches all the time, so I couldn't reconcile that when it comes time to kiss your bride, what are you supposed to do? The only logical conclusion was that they were faking the kiss. in my study, 62% of the time, people are blocking the kiss with the head, 22% with the arm. Rest of the time, they just put somebody in the way, preacher, some flowers, what have you. Although you can get very close, everybody knows you can't actually kiss. As I was forming this theory, I got some big news when I was about 5 years old. My parents told us they'd be renewing their vows and we'd be having a wedding. In fact, we'd all get to be in the wedding. I knew this would be my chance. I'd be closer than ever before. And I'd be able to see if the kiss is real, or as I like to acknowledge, fake. So when it came time for the kiss, I'd be strategically placed there next to my mother and father, and when he said kiss the bride, I remember leaning up and casually getting a good clean view of the kiss, and frankly, I was shocked. The kiss was real. Disgusting, yes, but I couldn't understand, and it blew my theory, and so for weeks I struggled with it until it dawned on me we weren't in a church at this wedding. It was a nice ceremony that took place in our home, and I understood now. This is why people get married at beaches or parks, or outdoor weddings are going to be just fine. But everybody knows you can't kiss in church. I've been married twice, as you know, and both times I did the honorable thing. I faked the kiss. Not many people know this. Someday I'll be proven right. But until then, I'll keep doing my research.
So, Tracey, do you believe in kissing in church?
Hey, listen, Bill.
Yes?
I think kissing the right person
Okay.
is good anywhere.
Now, kissing, correct me if I'm wrong, kissing is invented by God, and that's really the thing that starts everything, right? Populates
Sure.
everything, so to speak. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about Some Enchanted Marriage with Stephanie Brasher.
Some enchanted evening, you will see a stranger. You may see a stranger across a crowded room, and somehow you'll know even then, that somehow you'll see him again and again.
Wow.
Wow, 66 years. They really have it all.
Yeah, they really look happy. I mean, I'm coming up on 32 years, and when did they get married? 12?
Exactly.
Really good video. Coming up next, it's All About Me by Barbara Devlin.
August 16th, 2005 at 6:22 p.m. I'm said to be a bundle of pure joy. I weighed in at 7 pounds and 4 ounces and was 21 inches long. Here I am with my proud mama and papa and big brother Bjorn. I'm all ready to go home. At home with Mommy, Daddy, and Bjorn. I love to cuddle with Mommy and Daddy and Grandma Barbara. Grandpa came to see me when I was still very new. I'm such a glamour puss. And I'm ready for anything life has to offer. At 6.5 months, I visited my grandparents in Sun Lakes, Arizona. My grandpa is a nice man, but he makes funny faces. I can tell my grandma loves me a lot. Grandpa gets down on the floor and plays with me. I'm so cute that Grandma has to take a lot of pictures of me. While visiting, we went on a hike at Squaw Peak. After all that hiking, I was very tired. I guess I got dirty because Mommy had to give me a bath. Nice and clean, I get to play with Grandpa some more. After church on Sunday, we had lunch on the patio. Then we took the golf cart to the pool. I love the water. Give me a chance, and I'll show you that I can do anything.
What a cute grandchild Bridget is. Just a lovely way to show how much she's loved and adored.
Was it the first grandchild? I mean, lots and lots of pictures. I mean, normally, you know, the first kid, you get all the pictures. The first puppy, you get all the pictures. I just don't know if it was her first grandchild. But great stuff, yeah.
Good
really
question.
Enjoyed it.
Good question.
We'll ask her next time we see her.
That's a good idea. Good idea. Well, we are now down to our final award winners. Next up is our third place winner, The Trip Planner by Chuck Hale.
My mind is like a dark alley. I never want to adventure in there alone. My name is Chuck Hale, and I am by nature a planner. I just love to plan. I don't plan the outcome, but I do love to plan. So in September of 2006, when I received a phone call from my friend Bob, and he wanted to RV all the way to Alaska, that just put me in heaven. So this is a story about planning a trip to Alaska and to what extremes I will go to make a plan. Now, Dorothy and I and our grandson drove to Alaska in 1999, and that is one long drive. 9,300 miles approximately from Laguna Woods to Fairbanks, Alaska and back. But traveling with another couple in 2 RVs, that sounded like fun. So I started to work on a plan. It all starts with a computer and having the right type of software, Rand McNally Trip Planner. And so I sat down and put into the starting point and the ending point or destination, round trip, and what cities we would stop at in between. The concept we came up with to remain friends is called the lead dog concept. One day Bob and Joyce and their RV would be the lead dog, and the following day Dorothea and I would be the lead dog. This worked out very well, and we could remain in contact with each other via our CB radios. Now what you're looking at is the itinerary, and then I had to convert the itinerary into an Excel file. Now the Excel file is about 9 or 10 pages long. I have it in a binder. I had to make spaces between each stop so we could make notes, and then I made a summary file. Now the summary file shows the mileage and the dates that we're supposed to be at a specific spot on a specific time, and the details files show the turn by turn and the distance between each campsite. Next, I placed this into a folder called the travel plans. And inside of that, where I have all my travel plans from previous trips, I have an Alaska plan. And in the Alaska plan file, I have detail plans, like what to take, what needs to be done, safety checks on the RVs, fishing gear, computers, cameras, golf clubs, panning for gold equipment. We even have a book we ordered called the Alaska Milepost, and it shows us mile by mile the interesting things to see along the highway. Now, to complete my obsession and my planning, I take a digital camera and take pictures of some of the maps that we will be using. That is Dawson Creek and the beginning of the Alaska Highway, and the distance from Dawson Creek to Whitehorse in the Yukon Territory. And I put those photos also in a binder, so we're just about completely ready to go. We are totally prepared for the trip. Now, on the day of departure is the day that my plan starts to come apart at the seams. I have failed to plan for the human element. I hand the binder to my wife, who's spent all of about 15 seconds looking at the Excel file and the maps, and throws the whole binder into the back seat and tells me, drive north. Weeks of planning, hundreds of man-hours spent, all to end up in the back seat. The only thing that is kind of definite, and it is only kind of definite, that we will meet Bob and Joyce at Lake Louise on the 25th of June. And other than that, my plans will just stay in the back seat. But I had fun doing it, and life is just too short to live by a plan. The moral of this story is let go, let God.
Takes it and just throws it in the back like that?
Oh, that's what I would do, because I'm all about the adventure.
I'm always in awe of people who enjoy doing details.
Not
It's
me.
like, no, I'm not. I'm just in awe. This is why they take the time to do it and enjoy it. Well, you're going to enjoy this coming up next. My good golfing buddy John Kelly does a video about the making of the Woods combo.
We are rolling. 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you.
My mother was into music, and she sang a lot. Occasionally she would sing in church. When everybody went to bed, I would get up, sneak up late at night. It would be a school night, and I'd take the lampshade off of the lamp. I would put on my favorite songs, and I would sing them, and I would watch my shadow with the broom handle. And one night my father just stood there. I didn't even know he was there, just standing there watching me, and was just in awe of what I was doing, you know, just, he said, you should be a star.
When you're in my arms.
I guess I had musical ability when I was a baby. My grandmother said that she heard me humming a tune in her arms. I guess my parents started me playing the piano when I was about 5 years old. I started playing by ear at a very early stage.
And I hold you so close to me. Oh, wildest dreams, they all come true.
I played piano. My parents were musicians. My father played the piano, and he sat me down, I don't know, age of 5, and really taught me where middle C was, and I said, oh, that's fun. But then I saw the drums.
I need no soft lights to enchant me. If you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight.
Well, it started out because we had a rock band, and so Mark and I played in the rock band before, and there was too much competition, too many other rock bands. And Mark is a very accomplished pianist, and I felt like his talents weren't really being utilized as a rock pianist. In the combo, I play bass, and that's how it got started.
And to feel alive, the nearness of you.
So John, congratulations on being our second place winner this year.
Your trophy, sir.
Oh, hold on.
You are now an award-winning, Oscar-winning director-producer.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So John, what made you decide to pick this subject for your video?
It's really a matter of knowing Bill and knowing that they wanted to record in this space and us having the technology to do this green screen. So it was a way to show the rest of the club members the technology that's available. Even in a really relatively small club like ourselves, we can make some pretty flashy moves and look good.
That was well done.
Yes.
But John, let me ask you this. What made you pick a band? I mean, doing a band, there's a lot of elements moving around.
Yes, there is. Part of the reason was because the band came to us and asked us to do it. So
that's true.
They were ready-made. And also, I was interested in the band makeup. We've got Dutch, who was born in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Moki, who has a Swahili name. We've got you, who was caged somewhere as a young child, you know.
In New Jersey.
Yeah, okay. You know, and all these people have come together in Laguna Woods.
Yes.
And found each other.
Yeah.
And their love of music has created a jazz combo. Now, we're full of rock and roll bands, we're full of country bands.
That is correct.
We're full of tribute bands. But who's doing the Great American Songbook? Only The Woods combo.
A lot of that came from Mark, the piano player, right. Because the original setup was just Mark Dutch and I playing a lot of what Mark did.
Yeah.
And I thank you for doing that video. It was excellent, and I'm sure it took a lot of time to edit it.
It did. It took about, probably 40 hours.
Oh, that's a long time. Well,
yeah.
It shows.
You'll get a bill, don't worry. You'll get a bill.
Very much. Coming up next, we have our first place winner, Lucy Parker, with the 3 wishes.
Oh, our grandson made the dean's list. It's on Facebook.
Hmm.
There's his picture, look.
No. Look at us, reading our phones in bed.
Oh, you'd rather have your Kindle?
No, I mean, is this what we do in bed now?
Pretty much.
Well, I've downloaded an app that's going to change all that. An app that'll grant us 3 lifetime wishes.
Oh, don't be so gullible. An app can't grant wishes. Was it free?
No, it cost $100.
$100? Honey, you're not only gullible, you're a fool.
Oh, you'll see if I'm a fool. I'm going to become young again.
Sure.
I wish to become younger.
Well, yes, you're old, but don't worry. I'm going to make you young, too. That was the idea.
What idea?
The idea to add a little excitement in our lives.
I think this is crazy. I think it's dangerous.
No, it's not. We just need a plan. See, with the second wish, I can make you younger, too. And the third one, I can make us really, really rich. Come on, let's do it. Lay down. How many old guys get a chance to do this? All right. I wish my wife to become younger. Honey, we're young again. We're young again. It's fantastic.
Wow. I guess it does work. But you know, honey, why should we only have 3 wishes? I'll download the app on my phone. What was it called again?
It's called Wish Ninja. It's in the App Store.
I'm not seeing it.
Here, let me get it. There you are. 3 more wishes. 4 if you count the one from before. So what do you want to do? You want to go around the world?
Maybe. But you know, honey, I think you made us too old. Why'd you put us in our 40s? I wish we were younger.
Look what we've done. How many wishes was that? 2? You said 2 whole wishes?
That was not what I meant. Not this young. We can't drive. We can't even be married.
Stop. Don't wish anymore.
But we're too young.
Wait, let's think about it. We each have 1 wish left. So if we're gonna become really, really rich, one of us will have to stay this age.
What? No, that's crazy.
Unless we both stay young. Let's plan it out.
This is awful. Look at the mess you've made. Now we're retired 10-year-olds.
If we become really, really rich, we could hire a nanny to take care of us, like Mary Poppins. It would be fun.
Fun? What would our children think?
We could relive our lives. I could finish college, and we'd still have 1 wish left.
I don't want to relive my life, and I don't want to be this age. Our grandchildren are older than we are. I wish you'd never downloaded that app.
Look, here's an app for any 3 wishes that you want for $100. Who'd fall for that?
Not you, I hope.
Lucy congratulations on winning first place in the Video Club
Thank you very
Awards
much.
this year. It's so great to have you here. And please tell me how you came up with this story.
Well, I've always been fascinated with what video can do in the way of magic, making things appear and disappear magically. And another thing that's interested me is how people look at different ages. For example, my daughter and granddaughter look a lot like baby picture and childhood pictures of me.
That was your family in the video?
4 of them, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they were. And so I was trying to toy with the idea of what the 3 of us looked like, and then the guys as well, you know. But I didn't really have a story. I didn't really know what to do with it. And I came across this old fable. It's an old European fable about the woodcutter. He's in the woods and he's granted 3 wishes by a fairy. Now, you could look that up on Google, but the thing about it is it's a complete story. It has almost a surprise ending. And that pulled it together for me.
Yeah, well, you made it current by making it an app, right?
Yeah.
And on our phones. I mean, this is you really brought it into the 21st century and involved technology, and I thought that was brilliant. The way
That's
you did
fun.
it.
I like to do that, and I'm also interested in being retired and being here in Laguna Woods Village. Stories that are about older people.
I have a question about the story. You said it was a fable?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you real quick?
Well, how many pages was the fable?
Oh, it's very short. The
It's a
woodcutter,
short story?
The fairy gives him 3 wishes, and he rushes home to tell his wife.
Okay.
But he's tired. He's hungry, having made that long trip. He said, they're all happy. They're going to have all these wishes. He says, "I wish I had a sausage." Boom! There's a sausage. She says, "You idiot! You wasted a wish on this sausage. I wish it was stuck on your nose."
So not much of the narrative from the fable went into the video.
Only the idea of the wishes, how casually we say we wish things.
Okay.
And so they had to use their 3rd wish to take it off his nose. That's the old fable, and I tried to make it a little bit more contemporary.
Did you have to talk your family into doing this?
Not the kids. They love to
okay.
perform. They're hams. My son-in-law and daughter took some persuading, yeah.
What was their hesitation? They don't want to be on camera?
Oh, I guess they're not either. Well, they're both performers. They're both singers, and they're used to performing on stage, but not acting. Acting kind of scared them.
Because I know sometimes you'll ask people to be on camera, and they'll be a little skittish about it. But I enjoyed the video. It's very original.
Thank you.
I didn't know it was from a fable. I just thought you were woke up one day and said, "Hey, I've got a
one
great
of the
story."
problems I had was because it's from the 3 wishes. I thought I had to tell in the beginning. I would have to tell the old woodcutter story. And I really found I didn't have to. You know, I spent a lot of time thinking about how I was going to do that. But you asked about the casting.
Yeah.
Luckily I had this built-in family to do that. But
Where are the children related to you?
Well, yeah, those are my grandchildren.
Oh,
They're
okay.
twins.
Oh, wow.
And when we shot this was November of 2016, and they were 10. They were 10 then. And I realized they're getting too old to play this, because I'd had the idea for a while. And I sent the script to my daughter. I have to tell you that she took the 2-year program in film and television at Saddleback a few years ago, and she now has her own small video production company. Oh. And I thought, she got my script, she's going to want to produce it, but guess what? She didn't. Nobody wanted to produce it.
Yeah, you have to do it yourself.
And so I finally had to do it
So some of the
myself.
raw footage is 2 years old.
Well, it was all shot in one day. It's not quite 2 years old. But what happened was I never intended to enter it in the contest. I felt it would be too long, and it was a more ambitious.
How long was the original?
When I did my rough edit, it was over 6 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
And I think that one of the things I thought maybe entered in short video contests, or I really didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I just wanted to do it.
Sure.
But so I didn't edit it, and then of course I did a rough cut, and we had a lot of problems with sound.
It's always the sound.
Yeah, it's always the sound.
It's always the sound.
I really got into it, and I gave everybody the rough cut, and I just put it away.
So what made you bring it back out?
Well, very simply, I didn't have a contest entry this year, and I usually do enter. The very first time I entered, I didn't get in at all. Oh. So but I've gotten better. But
obviously,
I didn't have an entry, and I thought maybe I could cut this to 4 minutes and make it qualify. And what surprised me was not only could I cut it, I made it better. There were some lines that just weren't they weren't necessary to the plot. And there was a scene in the bathroom where the wife notices her wrinkles, and you really don't need that either. So I got it under 4 minutes.
Which brings me to the next question about actors. Most of it was cast with your family.
Yes.
Who were the older actors?
Well, we have a wellspring of talent here in the village of actors, and I happen to know Kate Jacobs, and I've seen her work, and she's very, very good, and her coloring and size are similar to my daughter, so she agreed to do it, and I was thrilled to have her.
How much did you have to talk her into it?
Oh, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Except to make sure it fit her schedule. But I didn't. My son-in-law is about 6'6" and bald, and I said, "Can you find somebody who looks like that?" And lo and behold, she found Will Hagel, who is just about as tall as my son-in-law and also bald, and they were a good match.
It was a great video.
And he did a good job, yeah.
It was a great video. The video also shows the talent within the club itself and what the club can do.
Well, yes. The crew here were friends of my daughter's and people she works with. But I directed it, and then, boy, that's another story. I had never directed actors before, and how hard could that be? Well, it's not that easy.
You're dealing with egos.
Yeah.
Even with little kids, I would
made
imagine.
some big mistakes that I won't make again, but so I didn't do this here using club folks, but we could do that now.
Yeah.
We could do a cinematic approach like this with a scripted piece with.
Sure.
We didn't use a boom mic either. We used lavalier mics, but
like we're using now.
But a boom mic probably would have been better on the sound. And we can do all of that here in the video club, either on
we have
location.
the facilities and the camera, which they've all been upgraded, let's say, to high definition. So
the cameras we used were high quality DSLRs, but our cameras would do the job.
Excellent.
So anyway, thanks so much.
Wonderful job. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming here tonight. We do appreciate it.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
We hope all of you have enjoyed our show.
And I hope you can join us again next year. Thanks. Enjoyed that. Coming up next, I don't know what it is.